evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is you're listening. Welcome to the Odd Shit Balls podcast. I'm Andy Thompson, and joining me today, we've only got two from the BBC Cumbria, Becca Thompson and Dan Payne. How are we doing?
Good evening.
That really shocked me how that cut off then.
What, the music?
The music?
Yeah.
It just cut off so suddenly. I thought my microphone had come on top.
Well, the full song's dead cheesy, so like obviously we'll just do the intro and the thingy because we got AI to do it, didn't we? And
I've told her to just let me sing it.
yeah, but you're dreadful. And,
Horrible.
But yeah, so the lyrics to it are very cheesy because it's been written by an American AI. So
the lyrics were terrible, to be fair.
I think I remember seeing it. It was like, we work hard, we play hard.
It's bad. I might maybe at some point we'll play it.
Rugby League in Cumbria. Stop it. Good banter.
I'll tell you what. I think I've got the chorus somewhere. It's. I don't know if I deleted it because it was that cheesy. I don't know if I actually deleted it.
Welcome to the Rugby League podcast, where we talk about AI songs and good banter in Cumbria.
I've got the full 2-minute one, but I'm not playing that. Yeah, it's too
Maybe
painful.
Dan should just sing it.
Catch a little bit of them lyrics. Have you got them on there?
Yeah.
Go on.
Throw us some tunes, Andy.
As long as we can put up with it.
I'll fast forward a little. Well, I'll play the start of it and I'll try and find the chorus if I can.
Okay.
And you'll see where it cuts off, and then that's when the lyrics start, and that's where it gets really bad.
Rugby League, we talk.
Oh dear. Right, I'm going to see if I can find the chorus. You talk amongst yourselves.
Rugby League, we talk.
To be fair, I think they're warming to it.
Yeah, it's just about as American as it gets, isn't it, really?
Big thank you for Bon Jovi for giving us a shout out on the Rugby League in Cumbria.
Anyway, moving on. Big thank you to our sponsor, Santa Marina, the main podcast sponsor. Go back and say something nice. We had the lovely food there. You missed out last week.
I know.
Don't want to rub it in.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, the one time I'm not here, I always say, can you bring food for me? And you never bring food for me. And then I told you I wasn't going to be there, and you specifically brought food last week.
Oh, it was nice. Was it cheesy garlic bread?
Yeah, we had mozzarella. We had ham and salami pizza.
Yeah, that was nice, yeah.
Nice bag of chips as well.
Do you like the crispy chips and that as well?
Crispy chips.
Oh, they're good.
You mean you're not like chippy chips?
Oh, not a fan of chippy chips.
Are you that?
That was such
that
a good meme.
I don't like chips, but I like chippy chips.
What?
Are you that one? I don't like chips, but I like chippy
No,
chips.
have you not seen that footballer meme?
Oh, here we go.
Where he goes, chippy chips. Right. Well, thanks for that. Dead silence. Sorry, rugby podcast, so we don't understand anything to do with any other sport.
Insert tumbleweed.
Yeah, Santa Marina. Oh, they did a competition where they hid money around the town. Such graceful people giving money to the poor in Barrow.
Did they all get found?
They did. They all got found, but we forgot to put Santa Marina. I know Santa Marina Deli on the vouchers, and every single voucher got cashed in on evening shifts. So it was there to promote the deli, and they all got spent on the evenings. So
you heard it here, deli.
So I mean, like if we got given one, if you remembered your podcast, and we could have used that for some useful plugging, really, couldn't we?
We could have done. Is that a massive hint there, Andrew?
It was just a subtle one, mate. It was, yeah. But nice that we're in your thoughts anyway. Moving on to news. So there was a little cheeky teaser on Barrow's TikTok that a potential retirement for Stack. Obviously, I know he put a status out, and as far as we were aware, Cresta said no, it's not then. But we're seeing that potentially happen now. Then,
well, what's your thoughts on the TikTok initially first, Becca?
What do you mean?
You're the TikTok queen.
Well,
you
can't trust a TikTok is all I'm saying. I think a TikTok can be made by anyone, so I wouldn't trust a TikTok for his retirement. I mean, he did put that Facebook post out, but people put a lot of Facebook posts out and then easily delete them. So we don't know. But yeah, from a TikTok, I wouldn't take that as Bible, but we'll see.
What I'm going to do, I'm speaking to Paul this week, and then I'm going to do my best to catch up with Stacky at some point before pre-season kicks in and just see where everything is and where it all stands, because if it is confirmed, I'd like to get him on here. I'd like for him to talk a little bit about his career because he's got some hell of stories to talk about.
Oh, definitely. So if you do bump into him in the off-season, he's put about 5 stone on, got a bit of a dad bod on the go. We could probably assume he's retired.
Talking about stacking, not me. 5 stone. I wish you only put 5 stone on, to be honest. Sorry.
Obviously, last week as well, we saw the IMG scores come out. We'll do an episode on this, I think. But yeah, I'm not a fan.
I was happy. St. Helens top of the scores, hey!
I think the IMG thing, you love it or hate it, it's there, and you're going to put up with it. I know we'll talk about it more in depth, but ultimately, Barrow have improved on what they had previously in the previous rating, so that's only a positive. It's a good thing. And I know it was a bit of a kick in the balls that they said that the screen wasn't big enough. Like, the screen's been absolutely fine, and to lose how many points it was because of a screen I thought was a bit daft. And then obviously Steve Neal's had his say on the ground. Again, something that I think realistically it's what he's always wanted to push for, and he'd made a bit of a hint there as well to BAE and the council to get the ground that they need for Super League.
A very subtle one. But just to go over the scores, Barrow in 17th with 11.22, which is a B. Town are 24th with 7.26 on the score, which is a C, and joint 34th for Haven, who are unscored. We're just going to say it's due to a late submission, or because it's just
even in Jordan. Oh, he's not a mock this week.
Yeah, can't even bully him. Well, we can. He's just not here to defend himself.
So I was speaking to somebody who knows somebody at Love Rugby League. I won't mention his name, but he was saying that means that Whitehaven might not even make it into League One. Is that true or not?
No, it's
garbage.
It's all just down to a late submission.
Told you, Ben.
Ben got a surname. Do you want to throw him fully under the bus?
I would actually throw it in, but I cannot pronounce it, so we won't go there. But
and that's the only reason you're off the hook, Ben.
Yeah. Ben.
Some more retirement news as well. Town's Cal Forber, that's come out officially now as well. They had a nice little montage video for him. I think that was done by a fan.
TikTok.
It might have been on there as well.
Wow.
Will Evans and Hugh Worthington represented Wales in a 6-48 loss to France. Max Clark missed out due to injury, but that's also Wales out the World Cup now. So unfortunately, it's unfortunate for them, really. Scotland and Ireland, Charlie Emsley, Brett Carter and Johnny Hutton represented Scotland in a 36-6 loss to Ireland. And England and Samoa, 34-18.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. I'll go in now. Oh,
yeah.
We could go into it now if you want, but...
No, I'm saving it for Kangaroo Court.
Yeah, they're on my Kangaroo Court. And then England wheelchair versus France. England win 66-33. And you see Sepikera's try, diving at the corner as well. All 4 wheels in the air.
I didn't see the game, but I've seen that highlight over and over and over again.
I'd say it's class. The rugby that goes on there. I've never really I think it's the first time I've really sat down and sort of watched it. I've sort of saw it in the World Cup and that, but yeah, like just seeing the players and that as well. How they're doing that at the same time, like ball in hand, and they're doing all that with the chairs. I think it's amazing, me personally.
My dad's friend, he plays for, this might be right, it's Scotland or Wales. It's one of the two. I can't remember which. It's probably one of them. But my dad's friend played for one of them in like a couple of years ago, in the final or something, when they had a big final. I don't really remember, sorry, because after all the rugby that I watch, I really don't have time to follow it, which is, regrettably, but I've seen a few games, just don't follow it a lot. But yeah, my dad's friend plays in one of it and he watched it and we watched it together, and yeah, it is brutal.
Savage,
I would never go near one of them. They're absolutely crazy.
But it's just like they're full on flying into each other as well. I just thought I know they've got the tags on and stuff like that, but I thought it'd just be like a bit of tag rugby.
No.
But they're flying, like you can hear like the metal and everything like that.
Clanging.
What I can compare it to, do you remember the old Super League intro video
with the robots?
With the robots smashing each other. It's like that. Obviously I don't want like sort of be like sort of derogatory with that comment sort of thing, but it just reminded me of that. Just these absolute units just knocking hell out of each other.
Massive.
Yeah, it's class. Also came out today as well that there's going to be an Ashes series, England and Australia.
I missed that.
Yeah, a trilogy of games being hosted in England for 2025.
Congratulations to Australia. Good win for them.
It was meant to be in Australia, wasn't it? But then they've moved it to England.
Yeah, the Aussies fancied coming over here instead.
Oh, they didn't fancy coming over for the World Cup Challenge.
Well.
Wow.
So yeah, that can get watched in front of a quarter of a stadium.
Oh, stop it. You're dicking into my car here.
It wasn't good, was it? Well, so yeah, that's all the news round up anyway.
That's the news in Cumbria.
New news.
Try to go American AI on you.
I'd rather use the AI than you two. That's dreadful. So this week's the Barrow Deep Dive.
Yes.
Barrow.
I think
Barrow.
and no dodgy West Cumbrian accents on this week either, so we don't need the...
I know, he's picked a good time to take his holiday, hasn't he, Jordan? So we don't need him for this week's... Where do you want to start, Andy? There's plenty to dive into. There's not as enough controversy that Whitehaven have brought with them, but
no, I think we've got a few. Obviously, I think the three of us have covered the game in some capacity throughout the season, haven't we? So it was 11th for the season where we finished off 9 wins, 16 losses and 1 draw. Top point scorer Ryan Shaw, 164 points. It's a sure thing.
It's a sure thing, yeah.
And top try scorers with 10 tries was Andrew Bowman and Luke Cresswell.
Two guys, I mean, Luke. On that note, Luke Cresswell, we know what he's like every single year, and he's probably going to get better next year because he's just the way he is. Bowman, I think, needed a more positive season after his start when he came in. He had a fantastic record at Haven. He had 2 pretty bad injuries, a bit of a mental knock as well, and he needed to get something to get his career going again, and I think he had it this year, and I think he's only going to get better, and I think he'll be the out-and-out try scorer as long as he stays fit for next season.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we'll see a lot more from him as well. A bit of a consistent centre maybe would help him out as well, but
yeah,
that's just my take.
We his tears.
So we started the season with 2 losses, Widnes and Whitehaven, so...
Straight into the league. We're not going to talk about being the Kings of Cumbria. I remember this. Work it and start it off. Who's going to be the Kings of Cumbria? Work it. No offence, but you can't start a tag like that, guys. Then we all met in that 1895 Cup and demolished them. And so I know. So we became the Kings of Cumbria. I think that before the league season started, I think that 1895 Cup was a good way to get a bit of confidence boost. But then it kind of turned around on that first away game, didn't it, against Widnes?
Don't worry, lads, you still got the Ike.
And on the back of that as well, it was that defeat to Oldham. Now, we didn't know what to expect with Oldham in the Challenge Cup because they were rebuilding this mega money team, and it turned out that I don't think Barrow were just on it that day. I don't think it was a case of Oldham being better. I just think Barrow turned up, and then it was that Widnes. Was it the controversial one, that Widnes?
That was the one where I think there was a head injury back in play. Shaw then pulls the player back because the referee's just completely missed it. It's not stopped the game. Shaw's gone and pulled the player back, got the yellow card for it, and Brad Walker offered some refereeing tips and got a red for it, which was then overturned.
Yes, that was the one. Yeah, that was. To be fair, if we knew what sort of decisions we were going to see throughout the rest of the season, then that definitely set the ball rolling, didn't it?
I never knew you had such a massive fan base to write letters to the RFL either, did you?
I don't know. Can we touch on that? Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, they put it out, didn't they? Yeah. So it was all the. Was it the Widnes players, whatever?
Yeah,
writing letters.
I think he had a few friends there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, him and he's got a big rugby league family, hasn't he, Brad? And I'm sure that a lot of people give him a nudge and helped him out and got him off with that one. But it's a bit of a different way to get rid of a red card. But
I heard it was all in the same handwriting, just different names at the bottom.
Signed by different ex-Super League players, etc. Yeah.
So Whitehaven as well.
Yeah, let's get past that one, shall we?
Yeah, shall we? Yeah. Jordan, we touched on it in a Whitehaven deep dive. We don't really need to mention it, do we? Yeah, no, we'll move on then.
Lost by a drop goal, move on.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed your win.
Won by a drop goal a week later, though.
Yeah, what a sad little life you live, Whitehaven. I've lost where I am now.
So after that loss to Whitehaven, once they toppled the Kings of Cumbria, Barrow, I'm pretty sure it was a Walker drop goal, wasn't it, the week later against York at home?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Memories coming back to me now. 15 points to 14 that afternoon as well. That was a good game, that.
Definitely wasn't, 'cause it's on my sheet in front of us.
Is it? Where?
Well, I didn't mention a drop goal. I just got the wins versus York.
See? I'm better than you. Yeah. But that was a good... I think it's set... Because the week before, even with the loss to Whitehaven, you could tell they were getting better than what they were in that loss to Widnes. And obviously it was Wakefield before that. It was in the 1895. And then that came in good stead for the... I don't think they were still into probably third gear at best the week after when they came against Dewsbury, but back-to-back wins, back-to-back home wins as well. That's an interesting stat. I'll get back to that shortly.
So what I remember about that Dewsbury game as well, I think it might have been you on for this one. The first half, we blew them away, and obviously there was the extended period at half-time because there was a medical incident.
That's right, yeah.
So I don't know if we just came back out cold in that second half, but we weren't on it, were we?
No, it wasn't great. Dewsbury as well, one of them teams that I think you could potentially take a little bit too lightly, but they've always got enough there to punish you, which we've seen towards the end of the season, even in Sheffield. but yeah, it was an interesting one, but it's one of them games where they've proved that you don't have to be in top level, top gear to win. And I think you see that a lot. Champions do that, don't they? It's when they still win games and are not playing at the best, and it's one of them sort of games.
So our next game, Becca, we're going to have to look at you for this one because I think me and Dan were slightly intoxicated in a box at this point. The home loss to Doncaster, 6 points to 38.
That definitely wasn't me. Oh, wait, it was me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Toulouse. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on anymore. Yeah, you were drunk and I could hear you when I was trying to commentate. Yeah, that was just, I mean, to be honest, it's just a team scattered with ex-Super League players, to be honest, isn't it? Like, I've got to say, though, was it Ryan Shaw? I called him Ryan Hall, I think, about 10 times because they have Craig Hall, don't they, playing? And we've got Ryan Shaw. And my boyfriend messaged me at halftime. He was like, you do know you've called Ryan Shaw Ryan Hall about 5 times? I was like, oh, no. I was like, should I say sorry when I come back on the radio or just, like, pretend it never happened? But, yeah, there was loads. It was literally my first ever game commentating fully on my own. Obviously, I had Graham summarising, which was good because he knows his stuff as well. But yeah, that was really scary. That was a tough one, and obviously not the greatest game to commentate on. 38-6 loss.
From our intoxicated view, I think it was god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't good, was it?
You're there on the radio like, Barrow are really trying here, but they're just playing a really strong side.
I think it got to the point midway through the second half where just looking at the fridge going, right, make shots out of that, I will have that.
Yeah.
Oh, they've scored again. Oh, right, okay. Don't we better make that one a double then? And yeah, it was one of the best games.
Didn't Paulie put an 80-minute shift in?
Yeah, and he wasn't tested. We didn't put any pressure on him or anything like that.
He can't do 80 minutes, man, but they let him. You know what I mean? It was,
massive.
Obviously, we're speaking with the power of hindsight, aren't we? But you'd want to get him, wouldn't you? See if you can gas him out and everything like that. Because they had that much of the ball, they weren't getting at him in attack. So every time he had the ball, he was fresh and he was just doing the damage for him.
Yeah. The week after, I think, did you join me at that one?
I did, yeah.
Weirdly, do you know what? I still think the Doncaster game the week before was worse than the 54-0 loss to Sheffield. Sheffield just were red hot. They were super impressive, and it was that day. Obviously, I know their season changed with Mark Aston, but for me, they looked like they could definitely be top 2, push to lose to that second spot. That afternoon, they were absolutely electric, and we just couldn't handle them at all.
Well, we said, I think it was in the comms in the first 2 or 3 minutes, you could just see them hitting them edges. They're just looking for them quick balls, and I think they might have been trying to target Carter throughout that game in the centre. And it just worked an absolute treat for him. I think the first few times, I think we got away with it with them dropping the balls and that. And then, after that, they just opened up on us, and I think they scored that. I think it was in the second half, them offloads and like sort of them quick hands and everything.
It's a hot play, wasn't it?
Yeah, that just pushed the way through.
It was just everywhere. For 80 minutes, it was great. To be fair, probably the best team performance I'd seen that season was that Sheffield team that afternoon. They were that good.
Well, that sort of the following week was when they were going to go up against Wakey. So I thought, I thought that's going to be the team that stops Wakefield. The way they played, and I just don't think they were on it the following week, were they?
No, they burnt everything they had against Barrow this year to bring the whole lot. But either way, it's interesting or intriguing to think where that season might have gone if it wasn't for the incident with the head coach. We see how that come out on this week.
I think we can talk about it now because it's all out and all that. But,
well, we'll stick with the Barrow thing for now.
But he's gone now.
He's gone. And let's see what happens to Sheffield. Now he's gone.
It's being appealed, though.
I don't.
Is it?
He might get it.
Well, I don't know. I haven't got any inside sources telling me it's been appealed, but I read the thing and it said that they can appeal, I think, up to 12 days or something, so it can be appealed. But
I can't see him doing it, though.
Well, I don't think it's a long enough ban to appeal, really, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? You could appeal it and get another 3 years, couldn't you? So have a year out, go on holiday and come back.
So the following week is the 24-14 home win versus Batley.
Again, Barrow's home form. The home form that carried him throughout the season was another. Batley were one of many big scalps, I think it was fair to say, at Craven Park this season, and that was the start of a decent home run. And that I'm trying to think, was there anything? I don't think there was anything special in that game, was there? I think it was just a good, complete performance.
Yeah, I think that's all it was. Solid effort.
I always try and think, like, what memory have I got in my head of a certain game, and nothing springs to mind for that.
To be fair, it's the bad things that just stick out to me, to be honest.
Yeah, there is that. It doesn't help to say it, but yeah, and like I say, any win against Batley is a good win. So that was a good win.
So the following week, it's the 38-16 loss away to Toulouse. I think we took an early lead, if I remember rightly, because I remember finding a completely legal stream that was getting shared about and watched it on that.
That was the Broadbent try, wasn't it? His little kick to himself in the corner there. It was a lovely little try. I think that's up for try of the season as well. It's up there on the voting thing. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen a couple of them, but I've not seen them all.
Did you watch any of that on that perfectly legal stream, Becca?
I don't watch perfectly legal streams.
And that's the voice of BBC's Becca Cumbria. What's your IPTV box like as well, Becca, for when the police come knocking your door down with a magic key?
I don't even, do you know what? I don't even understand it. I'm too dumb to understand any of that, so that just proves I don't have anything like that. I've got Disney Plus and Netflix. And
are you a big fan of your employees' TV license as well?
I've actually got a TV, my mum and dad have a TV license. I live with my mum and dad and they have a TV license. I think they could be possibly the only people in England that have a TV license.
Hey, I've got one.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch it, but yeah, I remember seeing it. I followed the Twitter and I remember seeing that, or X, whatever it's called now, sorry. I remember seeing that it was like they were drawing at one point. I was thinking, go on, Barrow, and then obviously got beat, but you're playing Toulouse, aren't you? So you can't really go over there to go over there and lose 38-16 is pretty good. So
yeah, there's no shame in that. I think you've got to look at them as one of your free hits as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Them and Wakefield pretty much this season were going to be games that you're going to lose, aren't they? You just can't compete with Wakefield. It's a Super League team. You know what I mean? You're looking at them now and they're getting rid of Super League players for Super League to get new Super League players. So it just kind of shows that what they were competing with this season was immense. So yeah, like you say, free hit game, that one.
The next game's the 25-12 home win versus Featherstone.
That was one of the best performances of the home season, that one for the Raiders, I believe. It was almost the complete performance. I think, if I remember rightly, I don't think the two Featherstone tries were anything that special. I think it took them a while to get into the game as well before they took the lead. Then Barrow just completely took control. Featherstone got a late try to narrow the gap, but they were never winning that game, ever. It was crazy how good Barrow were, and I think it was a big shock to a lot of people, and again, stamped the authority that Barrow had playing at Craven Park, beating a team I know Featherstone's season didn't turn out probably the way they expected it to, but nevertheless, it's still Featherstone. You know what I mean? They're never an easy team to play, no matter what level they're playing at. But that was a massive win and an epic performance that afternoon.
I don't want to say I'm the jinx for the season, but I missed that game as well. So I was absolutely heartbroken I missed that game.
But you did come back for the week after, didn't you? And we travelled to Bradford.
Yes, the 36-24 loss to Bradford. Are you looking at my sheet there?
Not a curse continued.
Oh, yeah, well.
Into Tweedledum and Tweedledee here.
Well, yeah,
sparring off each other.
That was a slow start on that first 20 minutes or so against Bradford. That wasn't the best, was it? They were just hitting, I can't remember what the big winger's called now.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. He was handful, wasn't he?
Yeah, former NRL lad, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And yeah, he was just, he was class for them for that first 20 minutes. And then I think the sort of game started turning in our favour when we knocked him at the touch. And I think he lost his confidence there when he realised, I can't bully this edge now because they've just knocked 7 bells at me and put me straight in a touch and that. And then the discipline issue started happening for Bradford, and that's what sort of let us get back into the game a bit.
Did they go down to 12?
I think they did for a bit, yeah.
I'm sure they did. No, didn't they get a red card? I'm sure
it was yellow.
Was it a yellow?
Yeah.
They were shockingly disciplined though, weren't they? They were shocking, but...
And then, again, it was the same story for the start of the second half as well, when it slow start, and then just let Bradford get the points back on the board when we brought them close to draw at one point.
Yeah, the score was close, but I think, again, I don't think Bradford were ever going to lose it. I don't think they were on point, they were at their best, but neither were Barrow really, just too sloppy, and it's just one of them games that, again, write it off. Not many teams where Barrow are could go to Bradford and win. I know we did it a few years earlier, but tricky place to get any points at.
I'd say the next one's probably the most frustrating loss for me, was the home loss there, Halifax, 28-38.
First proper bit of controversy now, isn't it?
No.
Was it on this one?
No, it's the away one for that one.
Oh, it was the away one.
This is the home one where we sort of collapsed in the last 20 minutes. I think there was like a decision for a scrum on the 20 for them when it was a blatant rip out. They got the ball back for it, they got a scrum on it, and then they scored from that, and after that the sort of momentum completely shifted, and we collapsed in that last 20 minutes.
My memory's gone to that.
It was a game, basically, we were dominating the full game except for that last 20 minutes, and we just collapsed.
Ladies were playing before, because I left 20 minutes into the men's game because I was like, this is so depressing. I remember that, yeah, the ladies played before, and we did the ladies game. I can't remember who the ladies played, but Yeah, I remember watching that, and yeah, I think I stayed 20 minutes and then had some grub after the ladies' game, and then watched 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, well, let's go. And then when I was on the way home, you could hear like the Barrow fans cheering. I was like, oh, it's like it's happening now, baby Barrow coming back. And then I said the final score, and I was like, yeah, glad I left.
It was just like I said to Jordan when we did the Whitehaven deep dive that they were a weird team, Halifax, weren't they, with all these superstars in the team, and just the way they finished in the season was a bit strange. And when you look at what Whitehaven did in that last game, putting the pressure on them, I think if we could have kept turning that screw, there was potentially another 2 points there for us, but that's rugby leaf here.
It was a week after that game, wasn't it? Well, we almost died, Andrew.
Yeah, I still get flashbacks. Yeah, the away win versus Swinton, 10 points to 24, with a very angry coach and crowd.
I know we're trying to tone it down. Alan Killenshaw's a dick, right? I'm sorry.
Sorry, no swearing on the podcast.
You can beat that out if you want, and he is.
Because I'd love to do more editing.
But my God, man. I mean, I couldn't have been happier, to be honest, when I seen that he was released from his job by unanimous board decision. The nicest way to put, you basically got sacked because he was just nothing but controversy. Before that game, what he was doing in other games, some of the things he was putting up on walls that I'm sure we've all read about.
Like playing hangman.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. He's honestly, I've heard angry fans act better than him. He's meant to be a professional coach, sat next to the RFL official and stuff. He was just basically showing off, I think. He was trying to show up to the RFL official that the referees assess whatever he was sat next to him, and it just became very, very hostile very quickly, echoing around that ground. And yeah, I'm glad he's gone. And I don't. If I'd never seen him in rugby league again, I'm all for that. Honestly, I can't take it to the guy on a rugby league perspective anyway. And the way he acts on a game of rugby and what he does behind the scenes in training sessions, I think it's just disgusting. And I don't think he deserves a spot in the sport, to be honest.
Fair enough.
There you go.
But yeah, just me too. My two sort of experiences when I've been away to Swinton. I think the first time was the season before when we did Coms again, and it was just they were so nice to us, weren't they? Like the fans, I mean, as well. We had that last sat in front of us, asking if we're going to be there every week and all that sort of stuff. She was like, you know what I mean? A few of them were really nice to us, and then you go to this season, and it was just hostile as anything, really. And it was just all encouraged by Killshaw.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I like them. I like to go at the ground. Plus, I like the fact that it's somewhere that we don't have to travel to Yorkshire to. So, I'm gonna miss go to Swinton. What else? Just get our Lion bars and all.
Lion bars, bottles of water.
Do you not remember the drive home? You used to.
We saw you on the motorway.
You saw me on the motorway.
Oh, didn't we?
I think I got to see St Helens, Salford or something. I think I got to watch that or something. And then I was driving on the motorway, and then I overtook you, didn't I? And then all of a sudden this flashing lights. I was like, whoa. Pulled over to left lane, went to do a rude hand signal, and then saw it was you two. I was like, oh, it's Dan. Changed the hand signal to a swift wave.
I thought you'd more clenched a fist and going.
That's what I thought it was.
It turned into a wave. It turned into a wave. I was like, why is this weirdo flashing his lights at me? I'm going the miles an hour.
You do it to randomers on the motorway as well. It's a pulling technique, innit, mate?
Flashes them.
Hey, it's a family show.
And that's why he's banned from Lancaster services. I'm sure other service stations are available as well. But not as close to us. Yeah, that's where I am again. Oh, there we are. 3 losses on the bounce to Wakefield, York and Batley.
Yeah, right there.
Whoa.
That's professional, wasn't it? Cheers, Dad.
Please keep that in. Please keep that in. It was a fact you accidentally pressed.
Oh no, I put the theme tune on as well, didn't I? That's because it automatically starts as I put it off.
At least it wasn't like a really bad ringtone. It could have been something that really exposed you.
Oh no, I don't do that. So I'm an actual adult.
Yeah, 3 losses, wasn't it? It was home away at Field, away to York, that was a battering as well, and then away to Batley. Again, nothing much to really talk about there. They were just 3 tough fixtures.
I've got something to talk about.
Go on then.
About 20 short kickoffs against York. Do you remember that game? I did that with you. It was a women and men's double header. And we went to York. I got a parking ticket. Do you remember?
Yes, I
parking ticket that got overturned. Thank you, York. Thank you very much. And
what happened here?
I parked at the stadium. Me and Dan did a double header, but we were there for about six hours because it's 2 games. And then they cut on the parking thing. They sent me a ticket in the post saying you were there too long.
Was it parking ice?
Yeah. And I just emailed them. I was like, I work for BBC Cumbria, and sent them a picture of my pass. And they were like, we'll let you off this time. And then they were like, if you ever come in again, just send us your pass and send us your car reg, and we'll make sure you're on the parking eye. I was like, oh, get in. I even dropped the York team in it. I was like, the co-presenter Dan, he messaged York and they said it was fine. So I was like, I will not pay this £70 fine.
I'm not encouraging vandalism, but a hacksaw to them cameras won't miss either, will it? Full of Max and Paddy style.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even see it, and then I just got the ticket in the post. I was like, that can't be me. I've not been anywhere. And then I was like, yeah, that's my car. There's me in the driving seat, like looking around for somewhere to park. But yeah, me and Dan did that game, and it was a double header. And yeah, it was that one where York obviously kept scoring over us. And for some reason, every kick, Barrow did a short kick-off.
And never got
and
it
it was really annoying. Yeah, I think they did it 11
maybe.
times and they got it back twice. And you were just like, come on, after you've tried it 3 or 4 times, you've not got it back. Like, and I really wanted to ask Crested, and I said, I really want to ask him if that was part of the game plan. But I remember later in the season, I think we asked him about something like that, and you were like, he doesn't decide who does that. It's them on the pitch. They decide what they think's best. But maybe that day they shouldn't have.
Was Stack missing at this point as well?
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't playing that game, because I asked you where he was that game. I remember asking, because it's like the first one I'd done in a while. And I remember saying, like, is Stacky all right? Not seen him for a while. But yeah, he wasn't playing that. It really did need a leader, that game, for Barrow. He really lacked leadership that game, because just the decisions they made, and York just ran absolutely all over him. And Barrow looked like they were playing a Super League team. It was a really poor performance. And sorry if any of the lads are listening. I'm not digging at anyone, but as a team, it just wasn't. They just needed a leader to they just kept making the same mistakes over and over. And normally, you make a mistake, you don't do the same thing again. And Barrow just kept doing the same thing, and it was just like they didn't have the head reading the game, heads on.
So
our next game was the 8-6 win versus Sheffield.
Yeah, for me, this was a bit of a turning point. This was where in the summer, that was July time, wasn't it? That Sheffield game at home, going pretty much towards the end of the season. I just thought they offered a lot more. I don't know what had changed. I don't know what had turned, but something happened, and that defensive efforts against Sheffield, it should have been 8-0, if not more. That try was the one that was from Farrell, wasn't it? It was about 4 metres offside on the kick, which everybody's seen after the game, and I called it on air as well, and I was right. He was way offside, and I don't think Sheffield should have gone in that afternoon at all, and I don't think they ever got close really as well. Barrow just dominated in defence and went on to win that game, but it was the coming weeks after, so the Doncaster away, that was the one we were at. That was shocking in terms of the officials. That was the 37-30 game.
Red card game.
It was the game where... Did they get a red card?
Was it the one where they sent someone off and they shouldn't have sent someone off?
No, that was Halifax.
Oh, that's coming up.
Oh,
the Doncaster
spoilers.
One was where they scored
3 tries.
3, wasn't it?
That should have been disallowed. I think one was they hit it forward. It was a forward pass or something like that. They hit it forward from a kick. I think the other one where play just completely stopped to the point the referee stopped. And Lado just walked in, what's going on here? I just put the ball down, and the referee stood 10 metres away from the try line.
I saw that,
Then runs, adjusts himself, and gives a try to everyone else's amazement.
Yeah.
And the third one was when he was about 10 metres offside from the kick. Scored right under the sticks.
Yeah.
He was basically under the sticks, just waiting for the ball to land in his hands. That's how offside he was.
Yeah. I do know that it looks like on commentary for us, they had nothing left. Like, they were out of gas. And it was like, just got to get through this. And then suddenly... It was like they got the ball, didn't they, on the edge in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was from his standing position, we were just like, let's go and smash him. And he just like almost walked his way through and set up this run to go and give him the lead again.
I think he bumped off 3 or 4 players, made about 30-40 metres from a standing still position.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Like, I think that's where it sort of turned for him. If we take out them 3 tries and go on the 2 legitimate ones who scored at the end.
I know, mentally, that's probably, as a player, from what was going on before that, it ruined him a little bit. What can you get out of this game when the officials are like this? So
definitely.
I don't know if that was part of it.
I would say so. I know as a player, when I've played and the referee's obviously been against you, you just think, what's even the point? Like, why am I hurting myself for a referee to just, I know they don't go out to make poor decisions. That's not what they go out to do. But sometimes you are playing a game where you really do think, I am just fighting a referee here. And what is the point? And, as a player that's getting paid, these guys are getting, not full-time wages, but they'll be there thinking, what am I even doing? I've given up my Sunday to come here and play this game, and having an awful time like that. But yeah, I remember watching that on the highlights, and put that in inverted commas. But yeah, it is poor, and you just got to think, like, what can we do to improve that? Like, you can't have video refs at every level, but I mean, they need to introduce something to Championship, because I think Barrow really have had a really rough year with referees, to be honest, like really rough.
And the thing is, I'm not going to pretend I know what goes on, but I imagine, a coach will clip stuff up, go to the assessor going, what's going on here? And 9 times out of 10, go, oh yeah, that's wrong, but what's happening off the back of it? You don't get your points back.
No, you get a little sorry maybe behind the scenes, which we know has happened with some games. And it's like, yeah, you might get a sorry, but you can't put a statement out saying, oh, the referees have come and apologised to us, we should have won that game. And the fans are going to turn around and go, well, what does that mean? Nothing. Like you say, there's no replay, you don't get any points back, there's nothing. You might have lost a game by 2 points that they shouldn't have scored 12 points. And it is just really, but it's becoming quite, it's happening frequently, especially against Barrow this season. I've seen a lot of controversy, and a lot of it has been valid, to be fair.
We'll go into the main one, the cherry on top of the cake, to sort of speak in a minute. But next game was the 24-all draw against Bradford.
Yeah, that was another one, wasn't it? Tight finish. I think Barrow came back in the final 20 minutes on that one at home. It was a great game, great spectacle, to be honest. And again, Bradford, one of them teams that they were pushing for the playoffs as well, which they eventually got, and it was never going to be an easy one. So that was a massive point, and as it turned out, a huge point when you look how the season turned out as well. That was a point that effectively kept us up. And Ockenbaugh, that was that guy's name.
Yes, that was him.
Ockenbaugh, the winger, yeah. But I think that one was where it was 18-8 at half-time, and it was just a complete turnaround. Second half performance from the Raiders. I wouldn't even say second half, it was the final 25 minutes. Absolutely came back at them and got that well-earned point, the point that proved essential. Essential, is that the right word? Well, yeah, pivotal.
So,
here we go.
The loss 38-12 away to Halifax when we played with a man down.
I think this is where we need to hand over. You do, Andy.
So, right, I'll be honest, I wasn't here for this one, because I was sat on a deck in Blackpool, Haven, enjoying a breakaway, and I just remember sat there absolutely fizzing, going, we shouldn't be a man down here. Like, you don't go a man down for sending a sub off. You just don't bring the sub on. And I thought, this is something that don't feel right with this. So obviously the scuffle happens. Carter gets a yellow card, and Delaney Bedwell gets the red from the bench for getting involved, because the fight's happened right next to him, and he's ragged someone off someone, and he's tried to break it up. He's ragged someone off someone, and he's got a red for it for getting involved, despite it happening right next to him. So I get that, right? He shouldn't have got involved. Yeah, but at the same time, if a fight's happening next to you, you break it up, don't you? You try and break it up. You try and do the right thing. It's not like he's going in firing digs throughout like that. But letter of the law is he's got involved from the bench. He gets a red card. So for me, that's his involvement done from the bench.
Yeah, we're
subbed down. Yeah. So the referees, obviously, Carter's gone off with the yellow card. Rightly so, he's fighting. And then he's made someone leave the pitch. So someone who doesn't deserve to be sent off has had to now leave the pitch because of that red card. Now, that's not the rules of the game. And Barrow basically played the full second half, first part of it with 11 men, and the rest of it with 12 men, when it shouldn't have happened.
Why?
So straight away, there's a welfare issue there. There's a massive mistake being made by the referee. And for me, that game wasn't played in good faith in that second half. And why the RFL haven't gone, we'll have to replay that. I don't know whether both clubs would want to replay it, because obviously you're risking injuries and stuff like that, or they've gone, right, we'll have to look into that. Because that was a massive mistake by a referee that has impacted the game.
What if Barrow got relegated by 2 points?
Well, that's it, yeah. Then you get CAS involved in that, don't you? The Court of Arbitration of Sport. Then I imagine they'd have to get involved in that, because that's a loss of revenue caused by that decision when the RFL haven't taken any ownership for it.
The thing is, though, this isn't anything at Paul, because if a referee says something, you do it, don't you? If I was Paul Query, I would have stopped that game and said, can we get an official call to somebody, find out if that's the rule, and see what we can do. You know, like that should have been the call from somebody to say, if you're not sure on that, don't carry on playing the game, which, like I say, it's hard. You don't want to argue with a referee, but sometimes you have the right to, and I think that game, something should have been said by someone.
I think on reflection after that game, at least, I know during the game, I remember looking over and seeing Paul just shaking his head like referee's trying to pull a player off the pitch, and he's like, no, that's not the rule. But I think afterwards, Paul was saying that when a referee is unsure, it's almost like, don't act like you're the be-all and end-all. Don't act like you know everything, because sometimes you don't. You're only a human being.
Yeah.
At least stop the clock, or stop. But go and speak to the coaches.
Yeah,
go and speak to them and say, I'm not 100% what happens here. Can you explain the rule to me?
No
shame in that.
No,
you know,
absolutely not.
A lot of these referees are young, and it
was a young lad, to be fair. It was a young lad.
It was a very unique situation as well, though, wasn't it? And I think he'd just gone off that, but apparently he checked with his touch judge, and that was the way it had to go. I know they came back and they apologised, didn't they, afterwards? But again, what's an apology going to do if you get relegated from it?
I don't like if I can't say it, we'll just edit it out. But there was an in-house apology. It was the RFL who reached out to the club as well, saying, "No, we've made a mistake here, but where's the public ownership? Where's the public accountability? And where's the sort of doing it, like sort of sorting the issue out?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was nothing publicly made, was there? I know the club came back and said that the RFL had been in touch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen things on Facebook, so we can say it.
Yeah, of course we can. But it's, luckily, as the season turned out, it didn't get them relegated, but my God, could you imagine? Imagine if that game was one of the reasons why they went down.
It would have been a court case for Barrow, wouldn't it? Like you say, it would have been, that's, like you say, a loss of revenue. They go down. That's obviously, you can't. It's so much, so isn't it? Getting relegated, your season ticket prices go down. Your gates go down. Everything just goes down, doesn't it? So it's just, that could have been, that could have been massive for Barrow, and luckily it wasn't. And it shouldn't have even been in that position. But like you say, like, it's just, how do you stop that from happening? How do you stop a game? How does Cresta go up and say, can we stop this game and talk about it? You can't, can you, if a referee's doing that? But there should be a way for that to be allowed to happen.
Yeah, like I said, it's a unique situation, like Dan said. I don't want to sort of obviously dwell on this too much, but it's a unique situation. There's no harm in just going, I'll get some older heads involved in this who have a bit more of an understanding of what's going on. Because like we're saying, they're young officials, they're going to make mistakes, they're human at the end of the day, but that was the clanger. And it's an unforgivable one as well. It's not a missed forward pass, it's not a missed knock on, it's not a missed high shot. That's a blatant error of judgment. That's, one, put players at risk, and two, the game's not been played in sort of good faith, has it?
Perfectly put.
Yeah.
I can't add to that. I like your rant.
Yeah,
we need.
It's a passionate rant, though. You mean well from it.
I can feel myself shaking with rage.
I've gone bright red.
Fuming. Still not over it. And I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there for it. That's how angry I was.
He was in Haven, literally like in the pool, absolutely raging.
2-year-olds coming over. Daddy, get off. Go away. The ref's ruined it for me. Roomy weekend.
We're going home.
Kicking her in the pool. No, that didn't happen. Yeah, so we'll move on to something a bit more positive now. 2 wins versus Dewsbury and Swinton.
Yeah, back-to-back wins, wasn't it? Dewsbury, again, which came with a little bit of controversy, didn't it? Away from home. That, was it there trying a corner where he absolutely wiped out the Raiders player?
Yeah, it looked like for me, it looked like he shoved Bowman off the ball. I've had a look back. It wasn't as, maybe the contact wasn't as much as what Bowman made it out to be. But if both players are running sort of in that direction, you're going to be off balance. But yeah, it's a blatant shove in the back.
Yeah, but can you not do that if you're both competing for the ball?
No, you're not allowed to sort of take each other out.
I thought you could if you
can sort of go shoulder to shoulder, but 2 hands in the back, you can't do that.
Oh, right, yeah, no, fair enough.
So it was like, he was behind Bowman, so it wasn't like a shoulder to shoulder fair thing. He just pushed Bowman over and used Bowman's momentum.
I'd say it's fair. It's a man's game, guys. It's not a man's game. It's a man and a women's game. But
everyone can play rugby.
That was a man's game.
It's a voice of a Barrow Ladies player, and
I don't play for Barrow Ladies. I play for Barrow and District Ladies.
Is that because of your sexist views and you've been kicked off the team?
Yeah, because it's a man's game. Well, that was a man's game because it was a man's rugby league game. But yeah, no, you can't push someone in the back, obviously. But I think if you're both going for the ball, then snooze, you lose, Bullman.
Either way, it was still a good 2 points against a Dewsbury team that was just playing for nothing but pride at that point, and then it was a close one against Swinton a week later. Again, we knew Swinton weren't going to be a walkover, and I think it was Ryan Shaw, but you were on commentary for that one, weren't you? You were there for that one?
I don't know.
Was that one we all missed? I think we all missed that one, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah. We didn't have it on, yeah.
We all had things going on, didn't we? But remember right, I think Ryan Shaw got a late penalty 5 minutes or so from the end to win that one.
Did this line up with England final? The England final, was it?
Dan was away, I was away. We were all away.
We were away somewhere.
I was in White.
I remember being no comms for this at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of that.
What England final?
Football.
Oh, it was. Dan was away for the football.
The Euros, because you were here with me, getting drunk.
Was it?
Oh, maybe it wasn't.
No.
It was, because you
It's at the end of August.
No, the Euros. It was an away game that Dan missed for the Euros.
Either way.
To be fair, you missed that many this season, mate. It's hard to pin them down, innit?
I know, that's why I can't remember which ones I've done.
I know what happened. I was at me UW Coventry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure he was at a stadium, weren't you, or something?
It was at Coventry,
all filling in Ben Fogel to get him.
That's it.
Doing the video, yeah.
Meeting Sir Jeff Hurst, as it turns out, that afternoon.
Who?
The only living member left of the 1966 World Cup winning team.
I wasn't alive like you, Dan.
He was now a UW ambassador. Just saying. You cheeky bitch.
Fuck, that's another one I've got to do, isn't it? Swearing again.
Bitch.
Oh, and again.
Sorry.
If you're gonna
this is you.
If
every
you're
time.
going to bleep that out, will you bleep out
No,
me saying it's a man's game?
No, I'm keeping it all in, including my dad ringing me and me having to do that. Because why not? I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock editing. I'm back in work. I'm back in work now as well. You know what I mean? I can't. Yeah, no, you look shocked. First time in 12 months back in work and that now. And, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
I know. Yeah, next two.
It's
two losses
time.
versus. Huh?
I did these games.
What 2 games did Becca?
Featherstone Barrow to lose.
Ah, you're looking at the phone and you cheat.
What fun.
Over to you then, Becca. How did these two go?
Rubbish.
That's all we need to know.
There we go. Done.
What can you say? Featherstone away.
That was absolutely horrific because I had Brett. I was there speaking to Cresta. Yeah, I'm going to get Brett to come up and be summarised. I was like, yeah, no worries. He's there, trained on the pitch, 21st man, whatever. I'm like, yeah, he's just warming up, getting his glutes going, just having a run around the pitch. So I'm there on the radio, start at 5 minutes, read out the teams. Featherstone, again, didn't give me a team sheet, so I'm there reading it off my phone. And then Barrow have the cheek to ask me if I've recorded the game at the end of it. I was like, no chance. And then I see Brett Carter walking down the side of the pitch, and I'm like, Brett, are you coming? And he never arrived, so I had to do that whole 80 minutes on my own.
Was it hammering?
It was awful. And then the women's game was before, at least the women's game was before it, and they did okay, but, well, I say okay, they won, but they had a bit of they faltered a bit towards the end. But yeah, the men's game was just hard to do on my own. Do you know what? I've got that much stress from it. I don't even remember watching the game because I was so stressed. All I remember is they had really nice chicken nuggets that I had in between the games. But yeah, that was really stressful. That game, yeah, it was not ideal. Obviously, a big loss away from home. It's a hard place to go though, isn't it? You're not going to really go and expect to pull one over big time. But yeah, it was a tough game. But to be fair, I spoke to Cresta after the game, and he was like, we've worked on a lot of things that we were bringing into this game. They had to pin down Reynolds. He played there. Ben Reynolds, is it? He plays from. He was absolutely amazing. He's one of the best players I've seen in this league this year, and he demolished Barrow, absolutely ran rings around him. It was just the Ben Reynolds show. It really was at that game. And, Cresta was happy with what Barrow had worked on, and he said you could see what they'd done in training. They brought it into the game. But it was just, on the day, it was just a stronger side. That's all it was, really.
And to lose?
To lose or not to lose?
To lose that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, to lose that one, yeah. It was quite cool because I had some French fans in front of me with little French flags waving them, and they were like waving and going like essay. It was quite cool. I thought it was really funny, that game. But yeah, again, it was just hard, that game. But it wasn't. Barrow were like really competing in it, and really, again, I spoke to Cresta at the end of that game, and he was really happy with that performance. Obviously, it's a loss, but not a massive loss. And Barrow's form at home's obviously been quite good this season, but yeah, I didn't watch the game. At the end we really thought it was going to be a Barrow comeback on the radio. I was like, they're coming back, it's going to be a win. Like, I really thought they were going to pull it out the bag, and then obviously Toulouse just ended up just kind of pipping them at the end and doing it. And even Cresta said he thought it was it was going to end up being a real close one at the end, and it was. But yeah, to be fair, even though that was a loss, it didn't feel like you were watching a loss. It felt like you were watching a win. They won the second half, Barrow. They come out in the second half and just absolutely ran rings around to lose in that half. But yeah, it just wasn't enough to get over that winning line. But it was a good game. It was a good game to watch. Like, one of the best losses I've watched in a long time.
So moving on to the start of Weir's Tears. The game, 34-14 win to Barrow against Whitehaven to basically confirm Whitehaven's relegation.
It was a highlight, wasn't it? If not the highlight of the season. The game was bigged up. It probably was the biggest game of the season. The biggest game in God knows how many years. It was more than just a Cumbrian derby, wasn't it, that afternoon? It was basically a game of winner goes down, which was insane. It was about the drop goals before that. The Ryan Johnston got drop goal winner, the Jake Carter drop goal winner, the Barrow coming in this game as so-called Kings of Cumbria, Whitehaven wanting to go one over, and then it had absolutely everything, and then Barrow just turned up. They turned up and just put them to the sword. We had Jordan in tears next to us while me and Graham were dancing around, and it was all going on that afternoon. But yeah, it was something special that day, and it really shows that Barrow just are the true kings, queens, whatever you want them to be.
Well, royalty, Cumbrian royalty.
Cumbrian royalty.
It was the beginning of the end, that wasn't it, for Whitehaven, that game? It was the start of a long downfall.
No, I think their downfall started a few weeks before that, didn't it? With a squad there was COVID gate for that game as well.
Oh yeah,
remember that rightly?
No, he's not here to defend himself. Shall we give him his little monologue? I think it's the end of the game. Go on.
It just seems like we have to do it.
It's the grown-up thing to do, really.
It is a grown-up thing to do.
We've missed him, so let's get his voice on the podcast.
Enjoy your holiday, Jordan.
Yeah, we'll get you on, mate. We're missing you, so we'll play this for you.
The final whistle will sound, and it brings down the curtain on Whitehaven State in the championship. They've tried hard and battled hard over the last few weeks, but let's be honest, it was always going to be up against them. Going to Dewsbury with sort of 14 players, and the battles after that, it's just been too much for Carl Amore's side. There's been so much turmoil on and off the field at this club in the last few weeks. Let's be honest, the last few months, probably the majority of the year, and it's now unfortunately the end of Whitehaven State in the championship. Full time here at Mount Pleasant. It's finished Batley Bulldogs 28, Whitehaven 14.
We shouldn't laugh, but we can.
If only they'd have won by 158 points, we never would have got that.
But hey ho, enjoy League One next year, guys. I might see you in a friendly. They always play friendlies at the most dominant Cumbrian clubs. There might be a pre-season friendly.
Yeah, I imagine they'll travel up and see us again because we're too good to go there, aren't we?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Barrow take on an NCL. I mean, Whitehaven team next season. Row!
I just like seeing, you get to see your future players come up against your current ones, don't you? So it's nice to see sort of your first team going against this your pathway, really, your talent pathway. And yeah, hopefully we'll see them again in pre-season.
Yeah, they can get that League One experience ready to jump into that Raiders Championship team. Be nice.
So we'll move on to our last two games of the season, losses versus Wakefield and Widnes.
Yeah, Wakefield away, Becca. That was one, again, you turned up to. That was the one that you recorded the wrong game.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one, yeah?
Wait.
You and Ellis.
I was only on the radio for half the game, and I still recorded the Widnes game. That was tough, but to be honest, it was just different class. That's all it is with that. It's not Barrow rubbish. They were just absolutely incredible. Jowett, he recently broke the record, didn't he, for the most points scored in the season. Just shows how much what they've done this season, and he's been absolutely outstanding for them. But yeah, it was a really tough one. That me and Ellis obviously did comms for that. He was just trying to get puns in all game because it was that much.
And fire digs at us.
Yeah.
It turns out he did listen as well. So not only did he fire digs at us, he also lied on the pod. He also lied on the radio as well, didn't he?
Said it was boring.
So it's boring. I don't listen to it.
Snooze fest.
And then the following week he's having a go at you for digging holes for yourself in the last 10 minutes. So that's the honesty of Ellis Gillam. He's leaving, so we'll fire digs at him. And so I'm bitter.
I'm sad.
I'm bitter. No, he's a massive loss, isn't he? And hopefully you'll catch up with him at some point as well.
Yeah, he's going to come on here and tell us all about his new venture, hopefully.
With UW.
That's right. Now we know why he said no.
Well, wherever he's going, he could take it to that club, and you never know, Dan. You could have lots of more people listening. I'm trying not to say
we'll move
anything.
On. Witness.
Yeah, witness. Again, that was one eye on that game over at Swinton. Barrow were all but confirmed to stay up. I think Swinton had to get a miracle result against Bradford that afternoon away from home. And I think by half-time, that game was put to bed. It was 30-something nil, I think, to Bradford at that stage. So the Barrow game became somewhat irrelevant. Paul Crary admitted at half-time as well that the squad were aware of what was going on over at Bradford, so they knew they were staying up. But nevertheless, it was still a great game. And I think if Ryan Shaw didn't miss a couple of conversions, Widnes wouldn't have made the playoffs. It was probably a bigger game for them that afternoon than it was for us. Come half-time anyway, once Barrow knew they were already safe.
I'll be honest, that guy who ran the full length of the pitch to get to the bus with that sign.
Oh, yeah.
But East Olives went free in my head. And then the playoffs didn't go well for him, so...
No.
Yeah, well deserved.
Didn't go too well.
They've still got a nice picture at Barrow with a sign in front of the 10 fans.
But they did... Like I said, honestly, right, they didn't even... They weren't that confident because they left it on the bus. They just keep it in the change room, wouldn't you, and then go in the change room and dish it out, like, you know what I mean? Like a couple of minutes left. Oh, should we sneak it out? I know it might be... But yeah, just the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the word because he got me nomination, didn't he? We moved it on to Kangaroo Court now, but yeah.
In terms of the
guy
of the season itself, right? So we finished just up the relegation zone. That point against Bradford, that 1 point keeping us on 19, one above Swinton and Whitehaven throughout the season. Now, interestingly, I was looking at the home and away points gained over the season. Right, away from home, we were next to bottom of the table, above Dewsbury on 0. We had 4 points away from home all season. The 13th worst in the league, right? Yet at home, if that 1 point became a win, right, we'd have been on 16, tied 4th in the league for home record. That is how tough Barrow are, Craven Park. We finished 8th in the table, but a point behind Sheffield and York, tied with Widnes and Doncaster. 4 or 5 points behind Bradford and Toulouse. That's a crazy home record.
Yeah, we can't really fault it, can you?
It's just so drastically wrong when they travel. If they can sort that away form out next season.
Seasick? Bus sick?
Yeah.
Travel sick.
It's the BK at the services on the way up, isn't it?
Eat healthier at home game on the way out. Fat Greg's.
Yeah, no pasties from Greg's or anything like that. 5
sausage rolls.
I wonder how much of a difference it would make if the... Hint, anybody listening would provide a hotel, an overnight stay for these lads staying over the night before.
Yeah, I agree. Like, what you're thinking, 5-star, where they could have BBC sort of related personnel there as well.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like sort of a bit of spa treatment and that as well, just TVs and stuff like that.
How many sponsors do you know?
Well, BBC don't get any sponsorship, did he? Just fleece me from a TV licence and pay you with it. So, that's our season summed up there, isn't it, really? Like, you've summed it up perfectly there with there's a good sort of good strength at home and then good consistency away.
That's pretty much it.
Basically, if every game was at home, we would have been in the playoffs.
If you look, I don't know if I can pull it up actually. It was the home form, believe it or not, has been pretty similar for the last few years. I've just got this new app, and there we go. I can change the year.
Flash score.
Yeah.
Who introduced you to that?
I think it was your mate Adam Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Got me onto it. Yeah.
Are we going to fight digs at Becca as well?
Big AJ.
Still supporting the football side of it, aren't you, Judas?
Well, I haven't because I haven't done interviews. So
there you go. Right, the 2022 season, 17 points gained at home. They're just 2 different to this year. Right, finished 5th best but the away form that year, 20 points picked up away from home. They were better away than they were at home, and they finished 4th in the table, which just shows if they've got it in them for that away form, and if the home form's always been there. It's just if they pick it up the away, they'll be fine.
The thing is, as well, you've got to remember they're not full-time players, are they? So even at home, you do. Every team has their strongest squad at home, unless it's a Super League team that train full-time and their job is Super League team, and this isn't a dig at anyone, but like Brett Cart, he's not had every game. He's not played every game, has he, for Barrow? But I did see him creeping in a lot of the away games. Like when there was injuries, he would creep in. He wasn't consistently in that team. He's obviously getting up there. But the thing is, players like him, they're more likely going to be that like available away game, and then people not available for that away game. And you know, if people have got work, I mean, I know like Stacky worked at Sellafield. I'm not sure if he's still there, but if Sellafield say we need you in on this Sunday, you can't exactly say, oh, I've got a rugby game and he's playing France or something. You know, if you can't turn it down, you can't turn it down. So as well, like that does play a lot into it in these leagues, and you'll see that with Wakefield. You know, they can have that where they've got the team available, but obviously Barrow don't have that luxury, and they will be taking players that. This isn't me saying them players aren't up to a level, but they aren't consistently in the team that maybe Cresta would put out as his 13-man squad. So when they're just getting put in, they don't, you know, they're not training with that squad as a playing squad. You know, I'm trying to say it without saying anything.
And when you look at it as well, most of the team, it is local lads as well who've come through either the Furnace Raiders set up or local clubs in the area as well. So I'd say we are one of the very few teams in that league that is probably made up of 3/4 of homegrown talent.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Paul thrives on the homegrown talent, doesn't he? And I think it's that talent that keep them where they are. And a lot of teams struggle to bring in the talent. I think Whitehaven and Workett are now going to realise that this is the way you need to go financially, and for just to stay consistent. And you can't bring in a new player into the Championship and expect them to do well at it. League One is the kind of level, or in Barrow's case, the Furnace Raiders as well. No offence to League One, but it's not. It's probably not far off. There's some good college kids out there. You know, some good under-19 players that play at an half-decent level.
Well, I've watched Furnace Raiders players play against Hull away, and then watched the players from the Hull team play in a Super League, you know, the week after. So it is like that Super League feeder, even in them college leagues, is absolutely crazy. And Furnace Raiders, they're doing quite well this season already, but you know, it is really hard in them leagues. Like you say, it is very close to League One, because that's where most of the players will end up going, or will end up playing while they're trying to get into them promotion.
And I don't think that's a disparaging comment towards League One. I think it's more the level of the amateur sort of game, isn't it, really? Rather like sort of stepping up to that sort of grade.
Yeah,
now,
exactly. That's not me saying, oh, you know, they're going to go into League One. League One's not as good as college, but that's where most of the players kind of go into as a feeder, and they'll find their way in them clubs. And it's good for them clubs to have them players in there, because I know me and Dan were talking in this season, and yeah, it's great bringing Australians over and doing whatever, but how many of their family are going to come and pay on the gate for a game? Maybe once a year if they come over. You get a local lad in, he'll bring his dad, his brother, his sister, his girlfriend, family. You're bringing loads of revenue in, and you know that's what these teams do. And having them college teams to feed into them levels, like you say, it's not saying League One's or it's rubbish. It's not at that level. It's saying there's that much talent around at them levels. It's being discovered and being used in them leagues, and then players are even going on from there to go into these like Super League clubs.
Dan's trivia time.
Yes. I was just trying to find last week's, and I can't find it. I remember it-ish. I can't remember how I worded the question. Can you? Because it bugged you, didn't it?
Yeah, it bugged me, because I had a few names, and I got there in the end, and I think it was somewhere along the line of who's played for all 3 Cumbrian clubs.
Got it. I found it.
Go on.
Which player who had a 12-year pro career between 1998 and 2010 played for Barrow, Town and Whitehaven, and his brother also played first team rugby for Barrow? You will have a clue because you were
2010. I watched. Did he play for Barrow in 9 or 10?
Between 98 and 2010.
See, I watched it. I started going to Barrow in 2009.
There you go.
And the only brothers I remember are the Finches, Larkins didn't have brother. I always think of Twiggy for some reason. I always think his brothers were involved. He was what's he called? He's a Henderson. Did he have a brother, or did he not have a brother? No, I'm just trying to think of players from that era that I can remember.
So, because the names I was thinking of were obviously the Finch was the first one, but it was the wrong sort of years, wasn't there?
Yeah. But when I realised, because I said Finch first as well, but then when I thought 1998, I thought he's only about a couple of years older than me, so he'd have been too young back then, basically.
And then I thought about the Gardeners, but then you only mentioned one brother. Obviously, all 3 of them have had a stint at Barrow. And then there was another one. Who's the answer?
Marshall.
Jamie
Marshall.
Not a clue, yeah.
Not a Jamie.
No, not a clue, sorry.
He played in the centre. He was a one central lad as well. And his brother Joas was the lad who played the game for Barrow as well.
Oh, so they didn't have the same surname?
What?
Did they have the same surname? The brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought...
Jamie and Joas.
Marshall.
Oh, I thought you said he was called Joe Ass.
Oh.
What, you think his surname was Ass?
Yeah. I'm not joking about that. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to get it if they don't have the same surname. I'm like, obviously.
Can that be the podcast name? I thought his name was Ass.
I thought his name was Ass. We'll go with that as the episode
Honestly, I'm
title.
not even being dumb. I just thought it was like a name. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have got that. I only started watching them in 2009 when Mr. Mossop was playing for Barrow, and he said to us all, "Oh, come watch us at Barrow." And then I went down. I begged my dad to take me to the rugby.
Did you proper kiss his ass at school and that as well?
I got his signature in a Beano book. I've still got the Beano book.
What?
I said to him, when I used to love the Beano, and I was like, "When you're famous, Mr. Mossop, I'll have your signature in a Beano book." And I've still got the Beano book with Mr. Mossop's signature in.
So, who are we giving the answers to? Because, like, your kid, I drip fed him a lot of hints.
Yeah.
So I'm not naming him, but I'm going to call him Derek instead, just to be childish about it.
There was the first official answer. I think we're going to get a theme here.
Yep.
Phil Aki. He's trying to find a question where Phil Aki hasn't played with said player, but fair play to Phil. He's admitted that anything in a certain time period, he knows it. So I was trying to get Phil on the voice note Podbeam thing, weren't we?
Yeah, try to get him to do a little thing or send us a voice note, but then you put him off with UW pitch, didn't you? So he didn't want to do it anymore.
I'll get him at work. I'll grab him at work.
Yeah, I would love for Phil. I know he listens to go on that link and give us. You got 90 seconds, haven't you?
Yeah, I could just send you a voice note. He's got your number, hasn't he? You can get, rather than limiting a Barrow legend to 90 seconds. That's just for the common scum.
You can
like
get
us.
in. You can get in and introduce himself and give a quick question in 90 seconds, and he gets his voice on here, doesn't it? Just I'm trying to plug the thing.
Yeah, I've got a bit to plug that, but you've got his number. We could get a good couple of minutes out of him.
Well,
and less things for us to do, innit?
He can text me his voice note privately once we've sorted out his bills when he's come with a UW customer. Deeper. This week's Dan's trivia. Then, are you ready? It's trying to get something that covers, obviously, the best we can, all three Cumbrian teams. I think that's just Cumbria in general. So this week, which player who played for Barrow, Haven and Town, in that order, between 1996, sorry Becca, and 2003, also, I don't know how you say this, played for Carcassonne, is that right? In France?
Carcassonne.
Carcassonne. I wasn't even close, was I? Carcassonne in France.
Carcassonne.
Well, we'll call him Carcassonne now. And represented both England and Great Britain students. There you go.
Phil Aki.
And we all know Phil Aki's going to get this one right because he was playing at the same time as well. So, yeah, that's this week's Dan's trivia.
I'm not even going to guess this one because I think I was living in Yorkshire or Northern Ireland at this point.
I won't lie. When I was given the question, shout out to Steve Andrews, I got it right first guess.
Did you?
I really did. I really, really did.
Can we ask him for some from like my timeline in life?
What?
Anything from 2009 to now?
The glory years.
Yeah.
Barrow won a trophy. I'll jump on board.
Summer glory years.
How many
So if anything, the downturn of fortune for Barrow was basically when you joined.
Yeah.
When you started supporting them. So it's not me being the jinx, it's you.
No, they were good when I supported them.
Yeah, but it's all gone downhill since then, hasn't it? We got points taken off us, relegated.
Well, that's not my fault that there was...
Well, I'm not saying there's a link, but...
So one last time, Dan's trivia this week. Which player played for Barrow, Haven and Town, in that order, between 96 and 2003, also went to play for...
This is where you said...
Carcassonne, sorry.
Carcassonne in France, and represented both England and Great Britain students. Get your answers on a postcard. Send to Andy Thompson, UW customer.
Oh.
Yes.
Right, yeah. No, I'm not even going to admit to that. I'm not going to admit to it.
Trivia
But what I will say,
Tuesday.
that card now is they've got the app for it. Because the missus started using it now.
The Apple Pay.
Yeah, it's working now.
The UW cashback.
Yeah,
Oh
card.
my God.
So I've only honestly, I've only been paying it for 6-7 months. I've only been paying it for and not been able to use it. So I'm still out of pocket with it. So it's still a
Oh, you did complete. Your Halifax bank, that's what it is.
No, it won't. It's used. you know what I mean, not getting with technology and stuff.
When Ellis said snooze fest, this is what he was talking about.
You keep tuning out. You can't say a word tonight. Is that Joseph Ass?
That was just a moment. I can't. I'm tired, guys.
Oh dear, Joseph Ass.
Joseph Ass.
Like kangaroo court.
Kangaroo court. Who are we going with first, Becca?
Pardon?
Kangaroo court.
Oh my God. Dan, who are we going with first, kangaroo court?
Kangaroo court this week. I'm going to go to the crowd. The crowd at Wigan. The lack of, should I say. I got excited for that. I had United on one side, right? That's depressing. So I thought, I'm going to pick myself up and put a bit of rugby on. I put it on and I thought, why am I watching this in mute? I had to turn my TV up. It wasn't for the commentators. I wouldn't have believed anybody was there. It was shocking.
For me, right, this is where, if I was the RFL, just admit defeat, right? There's a lack of interest at the moment because they're putting out a bad product. Put everyone on the hard cam side.
Yeah.
So the stand looks full.
Yeah.
And at least make it look like it's full.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just sort of play the game that way because it didn't look good, did it, for an international game? I know there's 15,000 there, but...
I've got a feeling it was one of them games where nobody really cared, right? It's a shame because I care, and I love seeing these games. I love seeing Samoans and the Fijians and the Aussies and all that go up against England, but when the crowd don't get into it, how can you expect the players to really get that extra va-va-voom? You know what I mean? I know there was a bit of fisticuffs at the end, but we'll get into that, I'm sure you will shortly. But I mean, it was just a bit flat. I feel like maybe 10,000 of them tickets probably got sent out through schools and through free competitions and stuff. People didn't really probably care. RFL tried to expand the game and give it to people in probably southern communities that would try to get him into the northern game, and I don't know, it would just seemed a bit off. It
was, quite frankly, from my side, it was too expensive. I wanted to go with my partner.
That's a good show, actually.
And it was £50 for both of us to go. It's £25 an adult. That's what the price was.
That says a lot as well.
So for me to go watch England Samoa, which isn't,
it's not Samoa's first team either.
No, exactly. It really wasn't. And it's a game that I could watch free on BBC. You know, anyone can watch that free on the phone. And you know, I'm not going to pay £25 to go watch that, drive to Wigan, pay a £5 to park at Wigan, and then pay £25. It would have cost me £55 just for tickets and parking. And I wasn't going to do that. If the tickets were a £10 or £15, I'd have been there. Easily, if ticket was £15, I'd have been there.
RFL, IMG, are you listening?
Yeah,
I would. Because at £30, you won't mind spending £30 because you'd spend £30 for a Super League game maybe for one person. So if you said to me £30 for 2 tickets, I'd have been like, yeah, I'll go. Same with the World Cup. I wasn't going to go to the Italy-Australia game, but obviously my good friend Anton was playing, so I ended up going and managed to get student tickets. But even a student ticket for that game was like £18, I think, and it's a lot. You know, like I say, I'm an apprentice and I'm not paying £50 to go watch, 5 hours of my work. It's just too much.
I can remember, like, sort of in the mid 2000s sort of thing, like around the 2010 time, international rugby, I was quite excited for it. And like, I'd look forward to watching England play. You know, all these players I normally don't like are all coming together now. You're supporting them and that. Now when I'm seeing it, it's the same sort of effect I have for the football. I'm not that interested.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, and that could be the thing as well. You're not seeing it advertised too much. You're not seeing, like, you're seeing the prices far too high. Like, it's not like you're watching, like, the football, I get why the prices are high. There's that much demand for it. But when you've got no demand for the game, why are you not knocking these prices down?
Do you know what else got me as well? Just a little petty thing here. I'm like, I'll put rugby on. Flick on BBC One. Some sort of budget homes thing. I'm like, what's this? They put it on 2.
BBC 2, yeah.
Like, same this weekend.
And I'm like, I know it's a nothing thing, but still, make it the main event. BBC One's your main show. It's your top programme.
But no, Home's under the hammer. Or something
it was something like that. And I'm like,
do you want to know what's even worse? This Saturday, they're playing at Leeds, and Leeds football kicks off at 3 in Leeds on Saturday. So they're playing at the same time in the same place.
Leeds is Leeds.
So it just makes no sense.
Yeah,
why would you do that? Why wouldn't you do it even on the Sunday? Or find a compromise. Even just don't do it in Leeds.
And the thing is, as well, like, a lot of the Leeds footy fans, the Leeds Rhino fans as well, who'd probably been at that game if the footy went on.
Exactly.
But it's just no common sense from the RFL again. And there seems to be a growing trend in that, and then they're wondering why the game's gone wrong when it's ran by muppets.
Yes.
I can't say honestly. It's
Go on, Andy.
Shocking organisation. That's why the game's on its arse.
Yay!
Oh no.
Come on,
I'll save that.
It
rant.
will be up till 2 a.m.
We'll do an episode, like, I'm sure at some point. Probably won't match
I
up with the
won't,
IMG
Jordan.
where we do how we fix rugby league. You'll probably be putting a bullet through some of them. Not metaphorically, not physically.
Oh no.
Yes. Go on, Andy. Keep
Oh,
going.
It's just a
stop.
shocking
It's
organisation.
brilliant. I love it.
Stop.
You won't see, honestly, I know,
Yes,
like,
here
you
he
won't
goes.
see it in football, would you? Like the sort of level of incompetence that what
Oh.
we see now.
Would you not? Did
Well-
you not watch the United West Ham game?
Yeah, but that's you, isn't it? You scum.
You only cheesed off because Ten Hag got the sack.
Oh no, I'm fuming with that. Absolutely fuming with it.
Football's in mourning apart from United fans. Everyone wanted him to stay.
I don't know. Since Southgate leaked, and I seen Big Sam sat there with him on the weekend.
I'm not even that bothered. It can't get any worse, can it? Dear me.
Well, you get the waistcoat back out like you did for the Euros about 4 or 5 years ago, was it?
Yeah, won't fit me anymore.
So when I made a football reference at the beginning, he's looked blankly at me, and now he's the Man United and blooming Leeds commentary.
Dirty Leeds scum though, isn't he?
Stop.
So my kangaroo court, going back to that. Oh, it's not the RFL, believe it or not. Incompetent organisation that is. My kangaroo court, I'm calling Samoa to the stand,
Okay.
right? Because they gave it big uns in a Civitao, going head to head with Mikey Lewis and that.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be a feisty game. And then he waited till the 78th minute just to push someone over, which was an absolute. What was the point in that? And then it was like, I thought, oh, it's kicking off all over, and all they were doing were grabbing all of each other's shirts, ragging them about, and half of my grins on their faces. Yeah. It's like I thought, false advertised. I thought like I've got it's like class. I thought like it's Christmas Day. There's this big box under there. I've opened it up, and it's just full of like tissue paper and then a pair of socks, and they've got holes in them, and they've been passed down from my dad. That's what I felt like after this game.
RFL written on the side of him.
And an invite to the board of the RFL. Jesus. Becca.
Right, I'm going to go off. I'm going to keep mine Cumbrian, okay? I'm going to go off comments on a Facebook post. And mine is Whitehaven for nicking Millam's players.
So I work with Dave Warren, who's a secretary at Millam. You're not happy.
All I've said every time they sign someone is like, oh, I can't even remember. It's like they should call themselves like Millhaven or something. So I'm going to put them up for nomination. I agree. I agree with what they're doing, taking local talent because it's the way forward. But I just think it's absolutely hilarious seeing all the people from Millam and that commenting saying, oh, they're taking out the players, like you should call it Millhaven, and that is brilliant.
And I think we'll probably see Town do the same soon as well. I think a lot of them will just be having trials and outs on that. But I imagine that'll come out after the pre-season friendlies and stuff like that. I think they've got a few coming their way as well.
I'm dying to say good luck.
No, it's not our news.
Okay.
So yeah, please get in touch. With us, what you want to hear from it. If you just want to get your voice on the podcast, we've got SpeakPipe. The link's on the Odd Shape Balls website, which is osbpod.podbean.com. Just scroll down and see that. Either that or just search Odd Shape Balls in Podbean. You get hold of us over email at osbpod@hotmail.com. On X, formerly known as Twitter, it's osballsrl. TikTok, Odd Shape Balls Podcast. You don't want to go on that's dreadful. On Facebook, search Odd Shape Balls. YouTube, there's the Odd Shape Balls Podcast as well, where you can see a couple of the videos we put up. We put all the episodes on there as well. But you can see when we did our little Zoom talk and Dan was topless.
I brought some class to the most recent YouTube video. Absolute class with background changes, a little bit of a semi-nakedness. Who doesn't want to see a semi-naked man on YouTube?
What I will say is, I didn't want to say it at the time. I saved it for this. Right?
Go on, here we go.
And I might get a screenshot of it later, or I might go back on. So you've put single up just obviously as a wind up. But there you are, shirtless, right? Yeah. Looking like you're leaning over, and then you got single behind you. I'm not gonna paint any more pictures in anyone's mind. But yeah, that was. I was sat there. You'll see a couple of times where I pulled the camera away, so you just see the background come up, and a big someone on a little chuckle at something like that. I'm just going, oh, he's not known. He's done that.
I haven't even thought about that. No.
So yeah, looks like you've got a lot of love for single.
That's me not going to do background changes on future YouTube videos.
But you can't just get him in an action shot, not just like he's stood up behind you.
Oh dear me.
Oh, I think that's it for tonight, isn't it?
Big thanks. Cheers, gents.
Play the outro. Jen.
I was just checking you were still switched on.
Play the outro.
Play the outro. Thanks for listening.
Rugby League in Cumbria.